What does that mean? You got to be, everybody say, you got to be focused. How many know you got to be focused? Tienes que tener enfoque. You got to be focused. You know what? If you're serving God, and the only reason, Gil said something to this extent tonight, if you're serving God because of what God gives you, or His blessings, or your eyesight, your aim is on. Are you here? When you have your sight set, Brother Charlie, and you have it on heaven, and you understand that, you know what Matthew 6:33 says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all of His righteousness, and then everything is added unto you. But your eyesight is focused on heaven. And you know what? If God gives you $1 million, if God gives you 10 Hummers, and if He gives you, a partridge in a pear tree while He's at it, you know what? Your focus is set on heaven. And you know what, man? Regardless of what goes on here on earth, but look what it says, set your eyesight on the realities of heaven, where Christ sits in the place of honor at God's right hand. Go ahead. Think. Everybody say think. 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 How do you think? What is it? If Junior knows that, everybody should know that, because he doesn't think very much. The band's too tight, Joseph. You think. So what this is saying here, when it's talking about thinking, it's talking about your mind. Think about the things of heaven, not the things of earth. So in Romans chapter 12, it tells us that we have to renew this mind. Everybody say renew. Tienes que renovar esta mente. You have to renew this mind. See, and I've said this many times, many times I've said this. How many know that your mind is a hard drive? Tu mente es una dura manija dura. Hard drive, I don't know. And computers have this thing that's called a hard drive. And everything in the computer is stored on a hard drive. But do you understand something, sister? That you can go in and wipe files, clean it, and whatever, but whatever's been through that hard drive remains on that hard drive. Anything that's ever been through that hard drive remains on that hard drive. Now get this. Your mind, how many didn't get saved after you were 20? Let me see your hand if you didn't get saved after you were 20. Look at the hands going up. How many didn't get saved after you were 30? Okay. How many ain't even got saved yet? Wow, look at all these hands going up. Amen. I thought Brother Gil was saved. He raised his hand. But get this. In whatever time it took us to get saved, you filled your hard drive with a lot of garbage. How many know what I'm talking about? And Sister Ida, that hard drive, your mind is never wiped out. God will come and He'll give you a new heart. He comes, Brother Chris, and He gives us a new life. But it doesn't say He gives you a new mind. Your mind remains the same. And it's up to you to renew the mind. So you have to begin to replace those thoughts that were in your hard drive with good thoughts. Because how many know what I'm talking about? You ever been there that, man, you made some progress in your spiritual life, but then all of a sudden, man, you have 1 or 2 bad days a week. And how many know that there's things that have been recorded in your hard drive that you haven't dealt with in maybe years, all of a sudden those thoughts start coming back? I'm not dealing with real people here, just the people in the balcony. That hard drive all of a sudden begins to remind you of things. That hard drive begins to tell you, you know what? You all of a sudden go to Cancun, te eat some fajitas, y de repente pasa una margarita, y la hard drive comienza a decirte, man, you used to love those. And before you know it, la baba, compadre. How many know what I'm talking about? That hard drive begins to regress, and then all of a sudden you're having to deal with whatever the situation is. Some of your hard drive, man, algunos de ustedes eran bien peleoneros. You never want to fight, but you were bien peleonero. And if you're not careful, man, that hard drive, anytime somebody makes you mad, that hard drive reminds you, Brother Chris, you're a boss because you don't take nothing from nobody. But check this out. For you have died to this life. How many of you have already died to your old life? I got a key to the funeral home. Anybody want to go to the funeral home? Let me. I will take you to the funeral home in a minute. Don't be telling on me. Don't be telling on me. You said you would never tell this story.
It's like we go to camping and we're on fire, and you know, it's like, it's crazy, but you know, they're back out there. Because somebody might be like, man, you know, I'll just go be designated driver. Next thing you know, they're drunk and going to driver.
You said you would never tell that story, Judy. Understand this. I want to take you down to the funeral home. Anybody want to go with me? I got a key. I got a key to 2 funeral homes. We'll go to whichever one you want. And when you get there, I want you to look at a dead man, and I want you to tell him how sorry his mama is, how sorry he is, how sorry his kids are. Because right now, Sister Connie, people want to push Sister Connie Pettis' button to tell her about her kids. And that red hair gonna just show its true color, and she. But when we're dead, and a mama that would fight for her kids, go tell her your kids are sorry. Your kids are lazy. Even go as far as saying your kids look like monkeys. So she's gonna go back and haunt you. I heard a funny joke the other day to break this because some of you are looking at me too serious. There was a lady that came and she came to church and she came to the pastor and she said, "Pastor, I'm so offended, I'm so hurt." He said, "What's going on, sister?" She said, "Brother Gil, he just came out and told me that my kids were ugly." He came out flat out and told me that. And the pastor said, "He told you that?" And she said, "Yeah, he told me my kids were ugly." He said, "Well, you know, sister, there's limitations. You go tell him all. I'll give you permission. Go set him straight. Go set him straight." And she said, "Pastor, but are you sure?" And she had all her kids around her, and he said, "Yeah." She said, "You know what? Brother Gil really throws his stuff around here. Go set him straight right now. Go tell him what you feel." And she said, "Well, what am I going to do with all my kids? Will you watch them when I go over there?" He said, "Yeah, you leave your monkeys here and go tell him all." En Spanish, he says, "Well, deja tus changos aquí, ve, dile." But when you have died with Christ, those things